You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. Yeah, and I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I had a feeling deep inside, and you know the reason why. Why never again I can trust you? Cause you told me not to worry about the person you booed up with now. Now you got me stuck with trust issues. Now I'm easy to giving up. It ain't easier for the next that's tryna heal my core, tryna show me more, tryna love me more. You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. And I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I think it's funny how in the beginning you used to carry me forever, but I guess forever just means temporary. Temporary just allow you to hurt me, cause you doing surgery. You hurting me, you irking me, cause everybody love me. Your daddy, your granny, the cousins and nannies, there's so many. It was the whole family, yeah. And don't forget the others, all your friends and all your brothers, especially your mother, but you chose love. You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. And I just need me some help. I need some therapy. 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 I need some therapy.
G3, why you saucing on?
You got me wondering how I made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma heal all these scars. Yeah, but I did this to myself. And I just need me some help. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I need some therapy. I had a feeling deep inside, and you know the reason why. Why never again I can trust you? Cause you told me not to worry about the person you booed up with now. Now you got me stuck with trust issues. Now I'm easy to giving up. It ain't easier for the next that's tryna heal my core, tryna show me more, tryna love me more. You got me wondering how made it so far. You got me wondering how I'ma.
Tonight on the RAVEstream. Aww. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 10, of season 2. This is really awesome. Actually, season 3. I think this is season 3 because season 1 was before the summer, and then the summer, and then season 2 was last fall. So yeah, season 3. We're in season 3. That's crazy. Super excited you guys are here. Gonna try to keep it quick because tornadoes. So weather's doing okay right now, but there is bad weather coming. If you guys are in stormy areas, stay safe, stay weather aware. You guys know all those kind of things because we live through it all the time. But a couple of announcements. I'm super excited because it's retreat weekend. I've had so many of you guys texting me, parents calling me, sending me emails, getting ready for this weekend. Looks like we're going to have a really good crowd. So if you're wondering, if you're curious, we've got enough space. We've got, bring your mask. On the vans and stuff, if we're kind of crowded, wear your mask. When we get there, we'll be able to spread out in our bunk areas. We'll have the chairs spread out. We'll be able to eat a little more spread out so we're not on top of each other. But we're going to have a great time. Washington Street's coming with us. They've got about 15 coming. So we're going to have a really awesome weekend. And it's the first time in over a year that we've been able to do something big together. And I'm really excited that so many of you are coming out and going to be a part of it. I really can't wait. Our lessons are going to be on the difference between constants and variables, and the things in your life that are constant and the things in your life that change, that shift, and how you can recognize them and how you can decide which things to get rid of and which things to focus on. Really excited about those lessons. Got some really good breakout lessons and stuff. Some of our Club Extreme students are coming out on Saturday. That's going to be great. And mentioning Club Extreme, after the fall retreat, after the spring retreat, spring break is coming up, and we're going to have a movie night here at the building. We'll do it maybe in the teen room, maybe in the gym, but we'll have food, all kinds of stuff. And Club Extreme is invited to that. So if you're willing to come out, you're willing to be there, please be there, because our Club Extreme students and their families show up and they kind of get an idea of what the youth group looks like. Really excited about that. And again, it's another activity that we're kind of rolling back out. I've mentioned before, but our Wednesday night classes will not start back until the last week in May. The masking order is not up until mid-April, like the first or second week of April. And then after that, we're 4 weeks away, 4 or 5 weeks away from graduations into summer, getting into summer. And we're going to kick off, end this season of the RAVEstream and kick off something new over the summer on Wednesday nights. And I'm excited for you guys to be a part of it. If you're still not willing to get out, or you're going to be at home, or you're watching this someplace else, but you don't attend Central, one, if you can attend Central, be here when we start class back. We already have Sunday morning classes at 9 o'clock, but on Wednesdays, starting the last week in May, we're going to start Wednesday night classes back. If you don't go here and you watch these videos, or you're not willing to get out yet, we're going to still do something online. Our Wednesday night classes are going to be a little shorter. And then we're going to come into this room from the teen room and have a set ready to go. And we'll do about a 10-minute discussion period, and we'll live stream that. It won't happen at 7. It'll happen at about 7:45. We'll start a countdown timer. And that way you guys know it's coming. And then we will do that. So be looking for that. We've just got a good thing going here, and so many of you guys watch these things after the fact that if you can't make it on a Wednesday night, there's still something where you can kind of get a little bit of a feel of what we're doing and kind of be connected. So glad you guys are here. Lots of announcements. Stay tuned. until the end of the Devo because we have a brand new video. Michael and I have not had a chance because of school and all these different things going on to film anything new, but we do have a new video for you this week from a world-renowned, let's say 5 Points area renowned artist named Rob Boss. I think you're really going to like him. He's got a lot of really interesting kernels of wisdom, and his paintings are not that bad. So, before we get into our, stay tuned for that at the end of our lesson, but before we get into our lesson, I wanted to share with you guys what we did over the weekend. So last weekend, a lot of you guys were here for it, and I took pictures of our leaf raking excursion, and was super excited that a lot of you guys got to be there. And I took pictures because I'm nerdy like that, and you guys are awesome, and I wanted to show you guys off. So so many of you guys came out. I heard that Lee, his surgery went well. I don't know if he's home yet, so if anybody knows, I haven't heard, but I know that his surgery went well on his arm, and he's recuperating. So, but we were able to get all those leaves raked. We did not break Mr. Steve's leaf mulcher. He said that it was probably a cable or something at Lee's house, and when he got home, it fired right up. So, did not have to buy him a new leaf mulcher. That was nice. But and also shout out to the Bells for just riding their bikes over. I thought that was really cool. They were nearby. Some of you guys came out. I got tons of group pictures, especially because and I'm not going to name names on live air, but little dude in the front right there with the blue shirt on was not cooperative. He was not in the mood for a group picture. He was ready to go. But super excited that you guys were there. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys know this, but let's see if I can. No, hold on. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I just got a text message. This is awesome. Lindsay Bell just told me that. Hold on. They brought dinner to Lee's family today, and they said he's coming home tomorrow. So awesome. Thanks for that, guys. Very, very cool. I'm gonna see if I can. Let me see if I can put this behind me here. Can I do that now? Am I right there? This thing. Look at this thing. Oh wait, no, hold on. I can see it because I fixed it, but you can't see it. Now it's behind me. This thing is very, very cool. It's just a piece of plastic, just a little piece of plastic, and you like put it in the trash bag, and it holds the trash bag up, and you can put leaves in it, and then you take it out, and you got a full bag of leaves. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and it was just, somebody was like, hey, we could take this piece of plastic and put it in the bag, and all they did was just buy plastic and write, like, awesome leaf catcher bag thing on it, like, and they sell it for 30 or 40 bucks. It's insane. Very cool. You can be a genius like that, too. Just come up with some, engineering marvel, and everybody will beat a path to your door and give you all their money. So thank you guys for coming out. It was a whole lot of fun. I was really excited for us to get out and do something again. And that whenever I put out the call, I had a couple people say something, but then so many of you came up to me on Sunday morning and said, yes, I'm ready to do it. Let's do it. I love that. It excites me because think about it, guys. I've been in this room every Wednesday night for a year talking to some of you guys online, and I've seen you guys off and on, but it's just not the same. And I know you guys worry. I worry that maybe we kind of lost some of our zing and we lost some of our fire for God and our desire to be together. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend because I'm excited for you guys to see that again, for us to be there together and to experience that again as a family. So super excited about that. Thank you guys for coming and raking leaves. It was awesome. Now on to our lesson. I'm in charge of the computer, so tell us, Shia.
Do it!
That's right. It is time for our keeping pace lesson. I'm going to move this thing off of my face. Much better. We've been talking about how to keep our focus on God, how to run with God, and how to keep our lives constantly in motion for God. A lot of time, and our retreat's going to talk about this idea too, that a lot of times we focus on the big stuff. We focus on, if I asked you guys, what's the number one thing in the world? What's the number one thing you should do in life? Most of us would probably say something that was hovering around God, Jesus, love, family, something like that. We can think that, we know that, but on a day-to-day basis, when we wake up every morning, we don't live that idea. We don't say, today, God is the most important thing. And that's what this keeping pace thing is all about. PACE is actually an acronym that we came up with. It stands for persistent. It means don't stop. Persistent and consistent, meaning keep on doing it. Persistent and consistent effort. And that's what it takes in your spiritual life to see real change, to see your life transformed, to see others' lives transformed. That consistency and that persistence over and over. Waking up each day and making those decisions. Remembering that God's in charge and that you have a responsibility to live that out each and every day. That's a big deal. So we've had a lot of different lessons about that. We've had a lot of different discussions about that. But tonight we're going to go into Ephesians chapter 6. And we're going to look at what it takes to, when you last week we talked about preparation, that you have to be prepared before the race. You have to get your mind right. But a part of that preparation is wearing the right gear, okay? If you go to Fleet Feet, any of you guys that have been there to buy running shoes or go to a place to buy soccer cleats or something, they'll ask you a bunch of different questions. They might even put you on a pressure plate to see how your feet, how your body weight sits on your feet, and then they'll give you insoles that fit your foot type and your body type, so that when you walk, the pressure is more balanced, it's more level, and it makes for a better experience for running. It hurts your knees less, your ankles less, your muscles don't work as hard because your weight is being distributed correctly over your foot. It's the same thing with soccer cleats and all those kind of things. You got to get the right gear. And so we're going to look at Ephesians chapter 6. I'm actually going to give you guys the second part, which tells you what to wear, but then the first part tells you why. So we're going to read this second part of Ephesians chapter 6, starting in verse 14. It tells you what to wear, what to be prepared with. And let's specifically focus on the running gear, okay? Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. Gotta have truth. The breastplate of righteousness in place. Something to protect your heart. Righteousness. And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Now, all of these are, the truth, righteousness, faith, salvation, sword of the Spirit, word of God. All of these things are centered around God. They're centered around things that God has already done, right? So God is the source of righteousness. God is the source of truth. God is the sword of is the word. God is the sword of the Spirit. God provides salvation. But the feet part, the thing you put on your feet, is your feet should be fitted with readiness, and the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. So it's not only readiness on your part, but that comes from the gospel, and the gospel in the form of peace, that gospel which is a gospel of peace. It's saying, think about the gospel in such a way that it is, filter your perspective of the gospel through the idea of peace, that it is a message of reconciliation. It's a message that is not hurtful. It is a message that brings peace. It brings healing. Take that idea, a message of healing, a message of hope, a message of peace, and fit your feet with that in such a way that your feet are ready. Ready, and this is the one that something you're supposed to do. Readiness. You have to be moving. You have to be doing something. James says it, and we've looked at that too. Show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by what I do. You can talk about faith all day long, but you can't prove you have faith unless you do something. And that is important. And Paul here in Ephesians is saying, hey, you have to be ready. You have to be fitted with readiness. Now, it sounds like a little thing, but think about it this way. if you're going to run a race, the most important thing you need is your shoes. The gear with which you participate in that activity. It is vitally important. If you don't have it, it's hard to run. It makes it a lot harder. You have to have your shoes. And when you sit down to put those shoes on, it means you're ready to race. Okay? All this armor, you don't put armor on if you're not expecting battle. Okay? They didn't cancel school today because they thought tornadoes, because they were, it's just going to be a light flurry or whatever. No, they thought tornadoes were coming, so they canceled school. When you get ready for soccer, I don't usually put my cleats on in the car because I don't need them there. I put them on after I get to the bench and I'm ready to play. I put them on before I go out on the field. Putting them on is a symbol of I'm ready. I'm going. Okay? Now part of your readiness was I'm gonna become a Christian. I'm gonna follow you, Jesus. And if some of you guys are listening to this, you haven't done that yet, you haven't become a Christian, it's time. You're ready. Okay? This basically look, what do you need? You need to know the truth. You need to know, you need to have salvation. You need to have the sword of the Spirit. You need to have the Word of God. You need to have the shield of faith. How many of those things are things you have to know, or how many of those things are things that God provides for you? You got to know the truth. You have to read God's Word. But if you know that you're a sinner and you know that God provides salvation and you need to be forgiven of those sins through baptism, you know what you need to do it. You know what you need to put on your shoes and be ready. Now, that readiness comes in the form of baptism. That readiness comes in the form of when you get up in the morning as a Christian, be ready for any opportunity for someone to ask you about your faith. Be prepared to give a reason for your faith. Be ready to serve someone. I talked on Sunday. If you heard me on Sunday morning during the assembly, I talked about this idea that we are supposed to do good. James says, if you know the good you ought to do and you don't do it, you sin. That we need to do good. That we're supposed to do it. It's not just a right and wrong thing, but is this a good thing to do? Yes. Did I do it? No. Then why? Am I too busy? Do I not want to do it? All of those answers get back to your heart and your focus and your perspective. All of those things say, and James says, if you know the good you ought to do and you don't do it, you're sinning. God says, be ready. Paul says, be ready in these verses. And then after all that, after you've gotten ready, he says in verse 18, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions. Don't stop doing it. Persistent. Do it consistently. On all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. Pray sad prayers. Pray angry prayers. Pray prayers of thanksgiving. Pray, God, I don't know what to pray, but just, you know what I need, and I don't right now. I need to stay focused on you, and I'm having a hard time, but I'm here. You're not feeling it today? God, I know I need to talk to you, and I just don't feel like it today, and I'm sorry. And that's a prayer. All kinds of prayers, all kinds of requests. And then he says, with this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Be alert. Don't get ready for battle and then sit twiddling your thumbs and look around someplace. It's like getting in the car and slamming on the gas and then looking behind you. That's dumb. It's dangerous. It gets you killed. It's the same thing with your relationship with God. But why? Why should we be ready? Why should we think about what we wear and think about the path before us before we ever start that path? Why should we resolve to be ready and say, I'm going to run the race? Why do that? And here's what here's what Paul says in the first part here of this section. Chapter 6, verse 10. He says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God. Why? So that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, because it is coming, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything, to stand. Guys, there's a battle being waged for your heart, for your soul. You see it when you turn on the TV. You see it in your schools. You see it when you're encouraged to do things that are ungodly. And guys, I'm telling you, it's a battle and it's a struggle and it's hard, but it's a daily thing. You overcome it daily. And he says, don't just say, well, the devil may come and test us. No. Paul says, you're being tested. The devil is here. He is fighting. We have a struggle, and it's not against the stuff around us, which should tell you something about who we're supposed to fight, right? Our struggle is not against flesh and blood. So if you're arguing with your neighbor, if you're arguing with your family, if you're arguing with people at school, stop. If you're comparing yourself to people at school, if you're angry at your family, if you're upset about it, stop. Let it go. Make amends. Apologize. Do whatever you got to do, but let that go because there's a bigger battle going on. And that's the important one. You have to be ready for that battle. We wake up every day sometimes, we're ready for drama. But because we're ready for those things, we're not ready for the godly things. And Satan gets the best of us. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Rest in him. Trust in him. That's what this is all about, guys. It's that simple. It's that simple. I'm going to do my obligatory subscribe to the channel, guys. If you haven't turned on notifications, please do that because that whenever we go live, you actually get an email or you get a text message depending on how you set it up. That way, if you forget or when we start assembly back full time on Wednesday nights and classes and stuff, when we start doing the discussion group thing, you'll actually get a notification. If you're not here or you forget or the time is different or whatever, and you'll actually get a notification. It'll say, hey, Central Youth has gone live, and you'll be able to watch that. Thank you guys for paying attention. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. And I know it's just online and you guys are just typing in messages, but I love when I'm talking here and doing a lesson to be able to see you guys on the chat there and just talking and being here, being present. It's encouraging for me, and I hope it's encouraging for you guys, and it makes me feel like I'm in your homes and I'm there with your families, and it's really encouraging. So if there are other Wise Hearts and Coons and other people out there that are around right now, hi, I miss you guys. I'm so glad you're here, and I can't wait to see you all. Having said that, I'm going to come back and do some announcements, but I promised you a video, and now, without further ado, here is the 5 Points renowned artist, Rob Boss.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rob Boss, and this is The Pleasure of Portraits. Today we're going to be doing a period piece we have here. This is, I'm thinking, well, it's of course it's coming from the heart, but I'm thinking nature, but with maybe a kidney stone survivor, kidney stone veteran on the front, and possibly the source of his affections as well. So we're just going to dip that in there, give it a little twirl, just like that, and then we're going to start dancing. Just 2 X's across the happy little sky, just like that. Let the colors blend. Now it's important if you're just starting off in your journey through painting and portraits that you use plastic brushes instead of nylon ones, because we want to kill the dolphins. Let's get another dollop of that. Let's add just a little bit downstrokes for light, and then we'll go right back to our X's. Now, as this comes together, just take in the serenity. Just enjoy that which is painting. certainly am. You know, things like this are what remind me of, you know, my time as a kid, where we'd have a brother or a family member take frogs up on the roof and drop them off the roof, and we'd play baseball with them. Just moments like that, you know, moments of joy. We're gonna keep doing those X's. Dollop. Do a little bit of touch up there. Keep doing those X's. We got to make sure we have a consistent look across the sky. All right, we're gonna go ahead and whack that off right now. Alrighty, we're gonna now switch on over to our 2-inch brush. Sorry, 2.5 inch. Mix in a little bit of dabbles with your X's, just to really get the full effect. There we go. Let's do another X up here. Beautiful. See how the colors blend? And then we're going to start painting the person, the subject of our thing. I'm thinking, you know, whenever you're painting, try to give your characters a backstory, you know. This person could have done something incredible with his life. He could have been a very, very important person. Or he could be really boring. And, you know, I think I'm going to go with the boring. I think that'll work really well. Let's switch colors for a second. Get this little empty patch all taken care of. Perfect. Blend that together. Beautiful. And don't be afraid to add in some birds if you like. Birds add a nice little thing to this painting, and it's okay that they don't have homes. Neither do orphans. You see, the trees have friends. Everyone has a friend. Except for my producer George, who put laxatives in my lunch. Alright. It seems to be coming together nicely. You can always switch it up, you know, if you're ambidextrous. Go ahead and switch hands. Give your other hand a break, you know. Hands are people too, they need love. But try not to repeat my mistakes and nearly paint off the canvas. Alright, let's... Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. Sometimes you just have to step back and see how the painting's going, and you know, you can adjust your style. It's perfectly reasonable. Da Vinci wasn't painting unhappy ladies his entire life. I mean, you know, he spiced it up a little, did some other things. And sometimes you have to do it with your art. Yeah, painting and portraits are a lot like people in many ways. You know, you may like some aspects of their personality, you may like no aspects of their personality, but you're guaranteed to like some of them. There we go. Let's finish this out with a little bit of this. Beautiful. tell y'all, I think we have a finished painting.
Let's go ahead and whack that brush off one more time.
Well, I'm so grateful you all could be here. I'm glad you could either watch along or partake as well. And we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Okay, so I couldn't wait to eat. I went out and got food. It took a little longer than I thought, and it was sitting over there while I was talking to you guys and while that video was going. I started eating. So, welcome to my dinner. I decided I'm going to give you guys an insight, and you can play along at home as to what Michael and I do. And Michael's at home right now because of the weather. But you guys can play at home too. After we get done with the RAVEstream, after we wave bye, and it goes to the like, thanks for watching, see you next time or whatever, and that music starts playing, Michael and I always start doing the music, and we start like bebopping while we're like just sitting here waiting for it to end and like cutting off lights and stuff. So we're like sitting here going, dun 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 dun, doo 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 doo. I know it's ridiculous, but you can do it too. So after we get done, you can do that and just know in your head that I'm over here at the teen house, at the teen room, doing that as well. And it will be hilarious to me too, because I'll know you're at home randomly just shucking and jiving and nobody knows why. So have fun with that. Don't forget about the retreat this weekend. The vans leave at 6 p.m. from the church building. Let me know. Some people have already texted me. Let me know if you're coming. And pack bedding, because we're going to Camp to Know Him. They have mattresses, but they don't have anything on them. So pack bedding, pack some warm clothes. Also pack toiletries and stuff, towel, those kind of things, because you're going to need them. Other than that, we will leave the church building 6 p.m. on Friday, get back at noon on Sunday, and lots of fun and festivities in between. So, having said that, we will go our separate ways and dance our way into the weekend. So, I love you guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.